Good to see a few people doing different perspectives. So I'm going to give you my perspective here of what's been going on. So I think that we're at that point, we're going to touch the 34-cent range. So 34 means between 33 and 35 in that area, and I believe we touched it. And when I said the 34-cent range, I meant that the range that it was going to be when Alligator 500 came up to it. And Alligator 500, which is a indicator, came up to it, and Hex touched that indicator. And throughout history, every time Hex has touched Alligator 500, it's pumped above Alligator 1000, came back down, touched Alligator 1000 a couple times, and then shot up to all-time new highs. And I think that that's what's happening right now. And it's played out half a dozen times in history throughout Hex. So that's why I'm not worried about the parabola. I'm not worried about it breaking down. I'm not worried about the sideways movement, because I know we're consolidating. We're coiling for that spring, and that spring is going to launch. So let's just look at the last 3 times that this happened here. I think that here's going to be a point. I think that right here was a huge point. And before that, I think that right here was a huge point. Okay? And these are points where it was the bottom, and it came up, and then it broke up to amazing new gains, all-time new highs. This is how we do 2X's every couple months. This is it. Again here, came down, tested over, tested, reached the bottom right there, and then screamed up to massive new times, right? So the length is going to be a little different, and the more time that you wait from all-time high to there, from here to the bottom, that's going to be the equivalent of how much it runs up. So from here to here was a lot shorter than from here to here. And in that transition from here to here, you see the rise of it going up. From here to here, you see the rise of it going up. Okay? We're getting ready to do this again. Let's see how this correlates with RSI. Okay? Well, if we come down here to this point, and we go to the RSI and we come down, you'll see that right here, that was the bottom, right? The exact bottom. Coming down here, how it correlates right here, the exact bottom, right? Get on that red candle there. Look at that red candle of capitulation. That was the bottom. That was it. There was no point after that in history that you could buy Hex that price. And there was no point after this in history that you could buy Hex that price. You need to be listening, because the same thing is going to happen right now. We're getting ready to hit that same thing. And at no point in history are you going to be able to buy this price again. So forget your stupid Bitcoin that's going to go up, not anymore, and crash on you, or that stupid SHIB, or everyone that told me to get into Rex that got wrecked. You know what I mean? This is all you need. When you've got a Ferrari, you don't need to buy a Ford Escort also. You've got the Ferrari. You're good to go. You're not going to get any better than that, so why would you downgrade to a moped, right? You know, you just don't do that. You've got the best possible vessel to get the job done. And that's what we have in Hex. That's why I'm all in Hex. I'm not into any other crypto. I may have scattered things from 2017 and things like that past. But right now, 99.9% of my money is in Hex, because we're at that bottom time. We're going to break out, and it shows it right here. Let's show a correlation line between the last 3 lines. So let's put a line here and here and here. Click on it. Click past it, go to it. You see we're right there, folks. We're right there. We're at the bottom. We had that big capitulation candle. We'll probably have a green engulfing candle that'll get us up there a little bit, just like we did here and just like we did here. That green engulfing candle tomorrow or the next day, or you got to consider these are days, so probably tomorrow we're going to have an engulfing candle. That's going to break us up. So I don't think at any point in time you're going to be able to buy Hex below this. There's only a couple times in history that Hex has gone lower in the RSI, right here. And it did do a breakout right after that. So if we do go down to that point, or right here, where we had a breakout after that, and ran all the way up to here, and you can see the higher highs. And I can zoom in on that and show you. You know, this is just from here to here. Look at the difference. So we're right here right now. There's very little chance that this is going to go down lower. Very little. And this goes along with a lot of factors, a lot of indicators, besides just the RSI, besides the Alligator 500. There's a lot of them showing this. And we see this delay every time on Bitcoin. If you've been watching Hex as long as I have, you know that when Bitcoin goes up, Hex goes down. When Bitcoin comes back down and reaches that 0 point, Hex starts up on the trend. And then when Bitcoin goes down, Hex goes up. The correlation is Hex is backed by USDC. It's not backed by Bitcoin. So the stronger Bitcoin is, right, the weaker Hex is. The weaker Bitcoin is, the stronger Hex is. And right now everyone's screaming Bitcoin, Bitcoin, Bitcoin because it's at 55,000. Guess what? 55,000 was called to be the top, and we're there. We're there. I would not be in at the top. Right now Hex is at the bottom. It's getting ready to pump up due to between a 2 and a 5x very shortly here in the next few weeks. And very shortly we'll reach it. We're going to start going up in the next day, 2 days, 3 days. But at this point, Bitcoin is going to fall off just like it was predicted by Richard Hart at the 55. It's the big Bitcoin dead cat bounce. We know this because if Bitcoin goes to 100,000 and pumps up right now, it has zero correlation with history. The trend is your friend. And the trend shows that Bitcoin can't go to 100,000 right now, because if it did at the halving, we're talking millions of dollars for Bitcoin. It's just not going to happen. It's never happened in history. The trend shows that it's time to go down. The trend shows, I saw someone say, I don't know, I was into Hex. Is this a bear market? Because I've been making so many gains. You'll know when a bear market happens. You'll freaking know. Trust me. From sitting on the bar stool crying in 2017, you feel that hurt of a 95% retraction in what you're in. We're not in the bear market now. We're not bullish yet. And what I mean by that is you haven't felt capitulation. You haven't. If you just got into crypto in general in the last year, you have no clue what it's like to see your portfolio go from 100 grand to 10 grand. Or 100 grand to 5 grand. You have no clue what that's like yet. Times that by your whole portfolio. And that hasn't happened. People haven't got wrecked. As Richard Hart says, they haven't paid for their sins. And their sins were doing unwise things. Alright? So I could sit here and do a whole video and list off things that Richard Hart has gotten right. All the other scams. I don't think I'm smarter than Richard Hart. So the best way to get ahead is to get with someone smarter than you. Just like if you want to raise money, your wealth, I should say, you want to be around wealthy people. So if I have 100,000 and I'm hanging out with people that have millions, chances are I'll get up to their game. And the same thing will happen in crypto if you follow the right people. If you follow the wrong people, it's just going to bring you down. So if I'm following a overnight trader that says get in here and get out there and get in here and get out there, you're going to get wrecked. You're going to get wrecked because you're going to follow the stupid down the hill. Okay? If you have anything left to put into Hex, now's the time to do it. Now's the time to do it, because all the indicators going on here that are going off, the bull flag, the RSI, the Alligator 500, and a few others that are going off, says it's a boiling pot getting ready to explode. And the opposite is happening with Bitcoin. Bitcoin hit the all-time high already, and it's coming up to do the dead cat bounce that was predicted. Don't get wrecked. Be into something. Be into something that's good. Who you back in crypto is going to be a reflection of your value and worth. I very much value Richard Hart's opinion and input on all things cryptocurrency, at least. I'm going to leave it here. Have a wonderful day. The bottom is in my opinion, and the rain's getting ready to go away, and it's going to be sunshine and rainbows. Have a wonderful day, y'all. Peace.